got one?
Yeah.
So, my brother, when he was a little younger than your child, he got a job working, it was at a convenience store slash cleaners slash real estate office slash gas station. And he was in charge of sweeping up the parking lot. My family is a partial owner of the land there, so my uncle who worked at the real estate company would pay him. So he had to do the job 3 times a week. It took about 40 minutes. And if you do the math, which you have to do the math in here, that takes 2 hours. And he would get paid $40. So he'd sweep up the old scratch tickets that were no good, the cigarette butts that had been put out, and all the things in between that you see at convenience stores and really not much at real estate offices or cleaners. But it wasn't the most glorious job, but for a 13-year-old kid, $40 a week is pretty good. So at the end of his first week, he marched up to my uncle's office to get his check. And of course, my uncle's got bigger fish to fry. He's a real estate person, so he's doing his job. And he just says, "Sit tight, Ted. I'll be with you in a second." And 40 minutes later, he finally prints out his check. Now the check is not like your normal check, like we all have our personal checkbook, a little 3 inches by 5 inches maybe. This is one of those business checks, right? So it's 5 inches by like 8.5 inches. It's the real deal, and he's 13 years old. So he takes the thing, he's got no pockets on. He rode his bike down to the real estate office. So he puts the check in his shorts, and he's gonna do the responsible thing. He's gonna go to the bank, and he's gonna cash the check. So he's in, this is North Andover, Route 125, which isn't Route 1, but it's not far off either. He's got no helmet on, and he's riding down. He's doing the right thing. His parents have no idea what he's doing. He goes into the line. The bank teller sees him. He puts the check right in front of her, and she says, "Can I just see some ID?" And so he doesn't have a PIN number. He doesn't have an ID. He takes off his hat. Inside of his hat it says Ted Sherendon. He shows her. She laughs. She takes a check. And his bank account grew by $40. So I share that with you because 3 things. Number 1, we need to be persistent. We can't just walk away when someone says no. We can't just walk away when we don't get it. And you as their guardians, their parents, their families, you can't tell them I'm not a math person. That's an excuse. Don't take excuses. Take your hat off and show your name. As soon as you say I'm not a math person, they immediately say it's hereditary, I've got my excuse, I don't have to be good at this. And we have to be better than that. Don't tell them they're smart, right? They're not. There it goes, I dropped it, right? But seriously, Einstein said it back there, it's my favorite quote, it's not that I'm so smart, I just stay with problems longer. If that fellow believed he wasn't smart, then, you know, where are the rest of us? Just focus on, we say it every time here, 1% better, which brings me to my next point. My brother added $40 to his account that day, and so his account grew by a little bit, but let's think about it. Car payments, mortgage payments, college payments, that's really doing nothing. But it's $40 more than he had before. And so if we can enter the room and then leave the room with something different in our brains, that's amazing. If we just get 1% better every day, you do the math, for 365 days, we'll get 37 times better by the end of the year. 37 times better just by doing 1%. So your child might have seen a 30 on their first quiz. They might have seen 100 on their first quiz. It doesn't matter. To me, it's can we improve upon wherever you are right now? That's the goal. It's not a grade. It's a let's reach you where you are and let's reach higher. 3rd point. We talked about persistence. We talked about kind of that 1%. The 3rd thing is the unrequired work. So right here, by the way, this is their plan. It looks smooth and easy, right? Never is. This right here, I love to leave what this is out, but I'll just give you a little hint. I asked the kids, what's the most important thing to being successful? 27% said attending class. Over 30% said doing their homework. That's just the required stuff, though. That's kind of a given at this level. We expect that. I mean, the homework answers are online. You can just copy me. I will never know. Right? This little sliver right here in light blue is the percentage of kids that say, getting something wrong in front of my peers is the most important thing you can do to get better. I think we need to grow that. We need to have more courage. This number right here, 17.5% is kids that stay after school. That's not required. But man, you can get a lot better by doing that. We've already had a couple of kids in here do that. Ask the teacher a question. It doesn't even show up as a percentage, it's so small. But curiosity is the highest form of learning. If you can ask a great question, if you can stump me, that's amazing. We've all just had to think as a result of that. So do the unrequired stuff. Don't just do the required stuff. If you want to be great at anything, you need to do what people aren't asking you to do yet. Be a step ahead. Last thing I just want to show you, because I know they'll buzz us out. We saw the picture of the smooth little ride on the bike. Every kid will say, oh, I want to get straight A's, I want to make honor roll, I want a 95 on the test or whatever. The reality is it's never that simple. There's always going to be obstacles. But like I said, I just think the obstacles are excuses, and they might be legitimate excuses. They might be somebody in my family has cancer excuses. They might be I don't have like a ride to get home from after school help excuses. But if you want something, we need to be bigger than our biggest excuse. And it might require you to be creative, right? You might have to go on different terrain. You might have to use technology, or if your bike is too big, you might have to ignore technology, take the long way around. And you might have to condition yourself because you can't go up that hill. So going from a 60 to 100 isn't going to happen overnight. In fact, you might go from a 60 to a 50 in the process of just trying to condition yourself, and that's going to happen. You might have to encounter some medieval thoughts about being smart and how that's what matters. It's not what matters. I think if you can develop discipline and a work ethic, that's much more valuable in the long run than being smart. Anything can be acquired over time. But eventually, you can surpass the storm and get to that finish. And if you get to the finish here, it's just so much more rewarding than if it was just a straight, easy path. And I think that they'll be better served, not only mathematically, but for anything that they want to do for the rest of their lives.